today's seed has almost every single biome, along with quite a few number of structures, all within just a few hundred blocks from spawn. So hello everyone, this is Chris, and today's seed is sitting on Agentmindstorm. Don't ask why I put that in the seed generator, just roll with it. And he's spawning right inside of a Mesa Badlands biome, right next to a small little lake or river which is going pretty much around in circles. But probably the more interesting type of thing is to actually check out every single type of biome that spawn in literally just a few hundred blocks from spawn. Because you obviously spawn inside of a Mesa Badlands right here, but you're actually not too far from a desert, something that's kind of traditional for a biome next to this, but you also get a jungle right here, along with a spruce mega taiga forest, as well as some smaller stony and normal mountains back there. So from just right here, you could already tell that you have quite a decent number of biome varieties right at spawn. But of course, from your spawn, you might be interested in heading over to this one village right here, because obviously villages are one of the best places to actually start off your Minecraft world, for the food, for the gear, and for everything else like that. But on your way to that one village, you might want to be careful in some precarious drops and openings, such as this one huge dripstone cave opening right here, which just happened to spawn in with the tree inside, which is kind of odd. And sandwiched in between that dripstone cave and that village, we also get this one rune portal thing itself just over here, which is actually lucky enough to not have any crying obsidian in the way of the portal, which means getting yourself to the nether actually shouldn't be too incredibly hard then. Speaking of which, using that rune portal will actually get you this nether spawn. But in my opinion, the overworld has much more interesting things in the nether on the seed, because if you go essentially straight from that one rune portal through this one jungle, then you'll eventually come across the dark oak forest, which actually manages to house a woodland mansion. And I can't say it's uncommon to find a woodland mansion close to spawn, but it is kind of cool seeing all this other stuff along with one of these structures near spawn. But much like the village near spawn, you might want to be a little careful around this woodland mansion, because not too incredibly far from this one mansion, you actually get this incredibly huge opening to a lush cave biome too. And you probably noticed right by this one mansion, you actually get a frozen peaks biome along with a stony peaks biome not too far from there. And these aren't necessarily the tallest or the biggest mountains we've ever seen in the world, but it is still cool that we managed to get some not too incredibly far from spawn. But heading past this one woodland mansion, you might have noticed there's another quite rare biome not too incredibly far. Yeah, we get a mega taiga biome literally just right here. And this seed seems to have quite a decent number of pretty incredible caves and cave entrances and things like that, such as this one cave entrance we see right here, along with, once again, another exposed lush cave biome right here. But heading back to spawn, if you're interested in finding some pretty steep and hilly terrain, then just head in this direction for about 1,200 blocks. Okay, more like 1,500 blocks, because you eventually find these really incredible Mesa Badlands mountains around the place. Oh, and if you thought the lush caves and dripstone biomes were exposed before, have a look at this right here. Essentially, the entire biome we see right here is actually merging itself outside and inside of the Mesa Badlands biome, which means we get some oddities like this drip leaf out in the middle of the open. Oh, and also you get a pretty decent sized coral reef right here. But if you're looking for a slightly closer coral reef, then we have this one right here, which is surrounded next to a village, an outpost, and sort of a mesa village. Like, there's no benefits in having a village inside of a mesa, but in case you want that to happen, then it is totally here. And since we're in this corner of the world, you might be interested in checking out this mesa mineshaft, or maybe even the stronghold, which for once actually isn't below a village. And you don't need to look far for the end portal frame, because it's literally just right here, and it already has one eye of ender in the frame, which would be kind of a cool thing on its own. But inside the stronghold, there's actually a chest with a couple of ender pearls, because just down here and just past here, we get this one chest with actually 2 ender pearls already in the chest. And just a couple hundred blocks from the stronghold, you get an ocean with probably one of the steepest coastlines I think I've seen so far in Seeds. Because first off, looking at where we are right now, we can see that, yeah, that's quite the decent drop we have right here. But looking across the ocean, we could see pretty much the entirety over here is just a complete drop right there. And apart from maybe this part right here, it's going to be very difficult getting up and down from here. Also, yes, I have realized that we are beyond the few hundred blocks from spawn, but there is still plenty of interesting things even beyond that few hundred blocks, such as maybe an actual normal mountain right here. And yeah, it's quite the distance in getting here, but in case you want a normal mountain with quite a lot of iron and emeralds and things like that, then it is solely here. But heading back inside this one ocean, you actually get yourself two ocean monuments, the first one being right here, and the second one you can see just over there. So at least with my render distance, you can see two of the ocean monuments right here. But you might be interested in checking out this one. One, because it is a lot closer to spawn, and also because there is the smallest jungle island I think I've ever seen. You get pretty much an entire beach right here and one singular jungle tree. And I never thought I'd see a castaway experience survival island right here, but I guess certain seeds give certain things we never expect to have. So yeah, is this seed necessarily a perfect seed? I wouldn't necessarily say so, but is this one nearly perfect with almost every single thing a player would want? I would say so.